Children of Saturn do not have to fight their own battles. If you have Saturn in your natal chart, which everybody does, if you have Saturn in your natal chart, which everybody does, you don't ever truly have to fight your own battles. And I say this because what a lot of people don't understand is that there is a time and place where it is appropriate to be a warrior, and then it's also appropriate to be a strategist. And you are allowed to be both, and you can pick and choose which side at any given time. You are not set in this dynamic. Hi, my name is Jalo. Welcome to my channel where we discuss all types of topics under the sun of spirituality. Make sure you like and subscribe, and yeah, let's get into it. So this topic came to mind a few days ago where it says children of Saturn don't have to fight physical battles. And Spirit was coming to me telling me that to reflect back on all the times and all the moments you could think of where things just worked out for you. And don't tell me that that's never happened. I need you to really sit back and think. If you need to pause this video, go ahead. If you need to pause this video, go ahead. I need you to think back where things just happen to fall in your lap. Okay? If somebody did you dirty and you didn't do much to get back at them, and the next thing you know, something unfortunate happens to them where they're completely taken out of your way and they stop harassing you, that right there is Saturn's power. And for those of you that may come across this video and not understand, Saturn is a planet. This planet in astrology is known for slow discipline and structure. When you get between the ages of 26-ish to 31-ish is the Saturn return, which is 28 typically, 29. But the shadow period of that is from 26 to 31. That's what Spirit has told me. Confirm with your astrologers accordingly. But that is what most people tend to go through. And that tends to be the toughest part of your life, simply because Saturn only comes around every 19 years in a cycle, and is pretty much asking you for the last 19 years, what have you learned? What do you need to unlearn? And if you do it within this set time, Saturn, will reward you. And what a lot of people don't understand nor talk about is that Saturn tends to give better rewards than Jupiter. Jupiter being the planet of expansion. Now, we know the divine feminine is on the rise, and Mother was telling me about this because I do believe in the Great Mother. I do believe in the divine feminine, being the creatrix of all. I do. And she was saying that Saturn is the mother planet of all the other planets. She is the crone. She is the elder. So if Saturn promised you something, it's coming. It's going to take its time, though. It's like snail mail, which is so funny because I'm currently waiting for something through snail mail, and it was been supposed to be here. But I digress. Whatever Saturn is challenging you and testing you for, that reward is going to be 10 times better with Jupiter than Jupiter's offering of reward. Jupiter is that fast planet of expansion, right? But they balance each other out because we live in a world full of duality. I want y'all to understand that. We live in a world that is full of duality and variety. That is a universal law of this plane that we live in, of this earth. So they balance each other out. So if you are someone who has a lot of Saturn placements connecting to your zodiac sign. So I know Aquarius is a very big um, zodiac, is a very big zodiac sign under the planet of Saturn, even back from ancient times. It's still ruled by Saturn. If you tend to have a lot of Saturn placements, like myself, we tend to go through a lot, a lot, a lot of confusion and at times disrespect from the people around us because they simply do not have the capacity. The people closest to us, I mean, they simply don't have the capacity to take us fully and wholly as we are. And we take on these institutionalized thoughts and point of views that really dampen our unique, eccentric, at times, perspective on life, which we end up having to undo as we get into adulthood, especially around the time of the Saturn return, right? That being said, when you have done the work, Saturn will reward you. And I know I keep saying this, but it's so true. Now that I've talked about this, did you take some time to really think about the last time things just worked out for you? That you didn't have to lift a finger for? The stories I have of times where obstacles, people, and problems have just moved out the way. And if you can't think of a time like that, I need you to build your discernment up. I need you to be more observant. I need you to become more aware. I need you to journal more or video diary, whatever it is that you need to record a time and place, a situation. Whenever a problem comes your way, I need you to write it down. I need you to record it somehow, some way. This is for those that can't think of a time or all in their doom and gloom. I need you to understand that there are powerful, higher forces in the works taking care of you behind the scenes. And little do you know. It's all a matter of divine timing because we live in a world that is ruled by time. We can't escape it unless we move on to the next plane, which is typically not done until your time has come, right? Right. And for those of us that are gifted in the different clairs and such and that have different discernment, we know that this is a time where as you get older, especially because Saturn is one of those planets, the older you get, as I said before, the elder, the crone, the older you get, the wiser you are, the more you're able to use that same wisdom, that data that you collected all those years towards your next challenges so they don't even seem as confusing, as hurtful, as perplexing as they were in the past. Even, and honestly, what I'm getting is there's nothing new under the sun in terms of problems and issues that we as a part of humanity experience, having a divine beings having a human experience are going through. It's just a an adjustment, but typically the problems are about the same throughout any generation. Food being an issue, agriculture, right? Population, pollution, health, well-being, mental stability. Every generation has gone through a very similar problem. Infidelity. There's not a generation that has not dealt with a cheating man or woman. There is not a generation that has not had any types of taboo topics, such as like kinks and people that unalive other people. There's nothing new under the sun. So as you get older and you go through certain things, let's say you go through an infidelity, you now know what the signs are. You now know what you don't want in the future. So when you do heal your heart and get back on that dating train again, and you meet your next partner and you say, and you are now able to discern if this partner is really for you based off what you've learned. It's anytime an obstacle comes your way, it's to prove to you that you can overcome it. I'm gonna say it again because Spirit is saying, say it one more time for the people in the back. I can hear y'all. Anytime an obstacle, a challenge, a problem comes your way, is to prove to you that you can defeat it, that you can overcome it. And ain't nobody gonna do it like you. Ashe? I heard somebody say Ashe. Yup. Talk about it. And I hear somebody saying it's not fair, and I know, baby, I know. Isn't there some type of Bible verse or Christian saying that says God gives its toughest battles to his strongest soldiers? They ain't just come out of thin air, baby. And don't get me started on like where Christianity came from and the symbols and all that stuff. Let's just keep it surface level for now. Well, as close to surface level as possible, because this ain't surface level. It's a little deeper than that. Somebody saying it's not fair, and baby, I understand. It's not fair, and I absolutely understand. But you got to think about it like this. And this is just something, because I got a lot of air placements, so I'm very much a thinker, okay? So if I'm able to put my perspective, which perspective is literally gold. So anybody should be able to do this, but I understand it's easier for others, harder for others. But for me, the way I see it is because I also believe in reincarnation. And I believe in that we choose our next life. And our mission is already established in the ethers and the other realms before we come down here to earth and become born and live our lives accordingly. So when I think about my higher self and I think about all the unfairness, quote unquote, that has happened in my life, I think about my higher self before we went through those veils of amnesia and the fire, the ring of fire, which is like the birthing hole that our mothers went through to give birth to us. Our higher self knew the entire plan. This version of ourselves forgot. But our higher self still remembers. And due to the laws of this world, of this universe, we still have access, but due to the law of the universe, we have to get that information in bites as we progress along in our life. So the mistreatment, the judgment, the pain, the sorrows, all of that is an ends to a mean, right? And when I think about my higher self, I think about, okay, I don't know who told me. I always joke with myself, I don't know who told me to choose this life, but this is ghetto. This is kind of hard. And then my higher self will say, girl, you chose this life. And this ish is absolutely, positively temporary. And I'm not going to let you be dogged out. You need to learn what you need to learn. You need to survive to get to your revival, to get to your thrive, right? Once you survive, you get to revive, and then you now can thrive. That is how it works. We have the laws of threes for a reason. That was something my therapist said to me today, and I'm glad it's coming about now through this channel, because everything is connected. And if you could trust your higher self for choosing for you this life, and whatever hardship it came with, knowing that your higher self knows that it's going to be worth it in the end, you should be good. Knowing that your ancestors got your back, your spirit guides got your back, of all species and races, by the way. Your animal guides, your angels, your Sirius B homeboys, your soul family. And then the creatrix herself, the mother, also got you. And then you got you, because that's all reflections of you. You don't have to be codependent on the outlook that this world has for you. No, you could be interdependent and co-create the life that you want. But you're going to have to do that with Saturn. And the more you surrender to that knowledge that most of your battles are all, not even most, I don't even know why I even said that all of your battles in its entirety has been taken care of. And you just got to make practical, actionable steps. If you listen to my last reading, where I talked about balancing practicality with spirituality with practicality, you just got to move. Right or wrong. If you need to go make an apple pie, you're going to get all the ingredients, right? You're going to get up and go to that store, right? Or now in the 2020s, you got DoorDash and all that. You're going to somehow, some way, get that apple and everything else in terms of ingredients to meet with you, to be in your presence. That's the same thing. You are able to, because of your resources, you are able to acquire any tool to benefit your means. Because of your resources, you can acquire any tools to befit your means. Trust Saturn, trust yourself, and just know that it's temporary. And that is all that I believe Spirit has to say. Thank you so much for listening. If you got to the end of this video, I appreciate you. Make sure you check the link in my bio for all my social media profiles, my cash links, and if you would like to do a love donation. And you could also get me a lavender vanilla chai latte, because I love me some of that. And yeah, until next time, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share, don't forget to hit the bell notification so you can know more and be up to date on everything that I have in store for you. And until next time, my loves, peace.